Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Today I want to talk about 5 hindrances. 5 hindrances. It is mentioned in the Mahasatipatthana Sutta. Also may have in the other Sutta, but I have read in the Mahasatipatthana Sutta, 4 foundations of mindfulness. So, what are 5 hindrances? Number 1, Kamecchanda Nivarana, the hindrances of sensual desire. So, if we have sensual desire, it is a kind of hindrances for the improvement. We cannot meditate well. We cannot control our mind well. So, sensual desire is the same as greed. Greed, attachment about the sensualities. So, we need to remove that. What is the way to remove? So, if we say in brief way, it is a proper attention. Proper attention is how we should think about that. So, just one word, proper attention. But if we say detail according to commentary of that sutta, so number 1 is need to know the asubha nimitta. Need to think, or asubha perception, formlessness perception. So, as a formlessness, we need to think, especially for the people, for the person. So, in this body, as a beauty, also we may be able to see. But if we have a perception as a beauty, those sensual desire may come out. So we need to mark as a fallenness or unattractiveness. So how to do? So if we may see dead bodies, different kinds. Some are because of accident, some are because of keeping after a long time. So body is found. So we have that nature. This body have this nature. So need to think, even own self, even others' body. If so, we have such a perception, body is a fallenness. So it is can reduce attachment, can reduce sensual desires. So people may not want to think, but it is beneficial. So whoever want to reduce attachment to the persons, so need to practice. So we may see dead bodies usually. Bhikkhus are trying to see dead body, make a mark in mind. I have this nature. Everybody have this nature. This body have this nature. So it is a fallenness. It is a fallenness. So whenever we try and have a chance to see those dead body, so we're trying to mark, we're trying to think. Everybody's body have such nature. Because of mind, because of heat, because of life faculty in the body, we can survive like this. Once those temperature, body heat, life faculty, and mind was gone, become separate. If so, this body no more useful. It is a fallenness. So another way to think is 32 parts. Seeing body organs, they are, according to scriptures saying, there are 32 body parts, like a hair, body hair, nail, teeth, skin, flesh, sinew, bone marrow, kidney, liver, like that, etc. Organs, intestine or undigested food or digestive food, blood, urine, those things, all together 32 parts. So it is a need to learn. So if some people recite Gananga by thinking those things, how big it is, what is the color, where it is, need to learn. So maybe you may need to see in the picture in the internet. So after that, make a mark. So recite Gananga 5 after 5. So if you recite by thinking Gananga, later like will see that things appear in mind easily. So that is the way to do. In ancient time, many people practice this method. So normally our teacher's method is first of all trying to improve breathing meditation. Later have a light. The mind is stable. If so, we shift our mind towards the 32 parts. If so, it is easier, can see together with the light. First of all, have to try for the own body, but later, after seeing own body, can see others one by one. See own body and see others, another one, see own body, see another, like that. In this way, later can do very quickly. Even in the whole, the group of people, they can see quickly. So, become very obvious. Seeing very clearly, like seeing with the eye. So, if so, once we saw our bones or those things, all are mostly disgusting. So, disgusting feeling you will get. But you are happy because that is a good object to think. Disgusting is disgusting, another, but the mind is happy because of pure, because of no attachment, no sensual desire. So, as a beginner, you may not have very powerful vision, but as long as you mark those things, can reduce attachment, sensual desire towards a person. So we love people sometimes. If love much, the other person may not love us, or something we are very suffer. So it is one way to stay peacefully. So monks are stay in the forest and practice those things. If so, they can stay easily. They can stay alone. They can stay easily. So because of this, trying to mark those things in mind, also trying to think it is a foulness or disgusting things. This thinking is very good for the mind, especially to remove sensualities, sensual desires. So another one is in this body there is a virus. According to Buddha's teaching, like 80,000 types of virus. Some are dependent on the skin, flesh, sinew, dependent on the bone, dependent on the bone marrow. So 80,000 types. That is the types, not numbers of virus. So they stay in the body. They use this body as a toilet. They were give a bath. They were hospitalized. So all are in the body. So because of this, all this something come out from the body. Those are disgusting things. So we say every hole. So like eye hole, ear hole, nose hole, all are 9 kinds of hole. Usually say. And from any hole, impurities only come out. So how we do? We wash quickly after wake up. Looks beautiful again. Like that. In the same way, we wear clothing originally very clean, very beautiful, because associating with the body, so become dirty. So in the same way, we eat something very good, but come out from this body will not be good. So those are impurities we need to mark. Many people are trying to ignore that. We're trying to keep in mind those things. Trying to keep in mind, trying to think Gananga as impurities. What is the purpose? Purpose is to remove sensual desires. So if we can remove sensual desires, it is one kind of peacefulness. We can remove one kind of hindrances. If someone don't have such a sensual desire, easy to focus our own object. Maybe able to practice, or maybe able to stay in the alone or in the forest. So, yeah, that is so. So we need to think about the violence in the body, about the impurities that come out. We try to mark. So once we see someone may have some detachment, if so, we should try to think those things. If you think Gananga, if you do like every day, it is become easier, quickly can think. Because of wrong perception, we attach, we love. Wrong perception is maybe we see movies, we may read novels mentioning about the beauties. So those are producing attachment. So it is not beneficial. So because of this, we need to learn those things, impurities, trying to mark in mind, trying to think Gananga, even on self and others. Especially if you have such type of person like lust or attachment. If you want to reduce, surely need to do that. So about the properties, need to think short-term use. Need to think no ownership. No ownership is something we have that is connected to many conditions. Thieves may steal, children may break, anything possible. So it is a short-term use. It is no ownership. So anyone, any condition can disturb that. Because of this, if we think in this way, we can reduce desire, we can dispel desire. So another thing is Indriya Sukota Dwarata. The stage of protecting doors about in the faculties. So what is that? Like protecting the doors. We have an indoor. By seeing, we may have attachment. So from the indoor, you need to think by seeing something, not to have attachment. Not to have attachment. That means that you cannot see whatever you want to see. Only you should see what should be seen. So only need to control that. You may avoid the object, or you may change your attitude. One of them or both you need to do. So in the same way, by listening, that is the ear door. By listening, we may have attachment. So it is also need to filter what is beneficial, what is not beneficial. So we may control listening things. We may not listen everything. So in the same way, smelling. So smelling also, we need to check. Some perfumes may cause lust or attachment. So if we want to reduce it, need to avoid, or how we should think about that. In the same way, eating. Eating also, we need to be filtered. Eating is a bit difficult. We need to eat. So, but need to do reflection for what you eat. Only necessary way we may eat. So beneficial way. Bhikkhus have a reflection. So I eat for the supporting, to sustain body, to stay well, not to have overeating, to dispel being hungry, like that. So if I reflect every day, like eatings are like jobs to do, not much interesting, may not need to go very expensive restaurant. So like that. It is a controlling faculties. In the same way, touching something, we need to touch a cushion or those things. What is beneficial, that we will use. But more than beneficial, if it will produce lust we may not use. We may filter those things. So in the same way, mind of thinking, how to think, what we should think, what is beneficial to think. So we may control. If we can control that, we can reduce attachment. Because of this, practitioners, sometimes we may need to go retreat. So we cannot see much, we cannot hear much. Only beneficial then meditation object to think. So even we stay in the city, so we need to understand, eye we have, ear we have, tongue we have, body we have, but we cannot use in proper way. So what is good to see or not? Need to learn that. So it is one way is thinking as a disgusting. Another thing is controlling faculties. Another one is bojane mate, knowing the limit about the eating. If we eat a lot, cannot digest, so we have to lie down, we cannot walk. Like the mind sleepy. If the mind is sleepy, we don't want to meditate. Sensual thinking usually come out. So because of this, about the eating also need to know limit, how much we should eat. So another one is associating a good friend. Some people may cause to have sensual desire. Some people are saying about the foreignness or something like that. No attachment. Some are always mentioning about the beauty or attachment. If we associate with those, we may have such things. Another thing is speech. Speech, we will listen or we will talk. So like saying novels or seeing movies, those are sometimes may cause sensual desires. And some people say, according to Dharma, if so, it can reduce sensual desires. So that is the way to dispel sensual desire. Number one, thinking of foreignness. Number two, controlling faculties. Number three, knowing limit about the eating. Number four is associating good friend. Number five is proper speech. So next hindrances is pyabada, ill will, anger or hatred. It is also one of the hindrances. If the anger comes, our wholesome mind was gone, cannot focus, don't want to focus. The mind hates something, have a hatred. So it is to dispel for the improvement. So how to dispel? Say practicing metta. Practicing metta is radiating metta once you got up in the morning. So you may send metta for your family, protector devas, people in the work, at the work, people, the whole Singapore, or the whole beings all in the world, the whole world. So in the same way, maybe morning or even according to your type. If you tend to have anger, lot of anger, need to do earlier time or every day. If you do like that, will lead your mind not to have anger. So there is a detailed practicing, so but it is enough, I think. Next one is Kamaskata knowledge. Kamaskata knowledge. So Kamaskata knowledge means the knowledge, understanding about the karma as a own property. So sometimes some people harm us. So they may speak badly, they may harm us. So we need to understand the own karma. Own karma means if someone harms us, he will get his bad karma. So normally, in most of situations, just saying or something like that. Normally, people to people is to harm much, not so easy, like in Singapore, so good country, protected by government or something like this. So because of this, just speaking, if you can be patient, you can remove anger, not much problem. So how to remove? If say someone badly, we no need to harm back. His karma already. So if we can maintain our goodness, he cannot do anything. So he has a bad karma that we don't have. So if we try to harm them, we will have a bad karma. So like harming others or getting angry towards others is saying like poison or fire. Take a fire and shoot and throw like that. So you want to throw others, but first of all you need to take a fire. You already hot or burn like that. In the same way, taking in dirty things and throw it. So you want to throw dirty things towards others, but you need to take fast. So because of this, if we try to harm others, already we are burning with anger. It is one kind of poison for those who understand about the karma and karma result. Because of this, if someone harming, sometimes not much to do for the reaction. So just understand the karma. He is accumulating bad karma. So maintain own goodness. So if someone understands the karma and karma result, can reduce anger. In the Buddha time, so one Brahmin blamed to the Buddha. The Buddha stayed peacefully. So after finishing, I don't accept you are saying anything. Nothing happened for me, like that. So who say badly is only his karma. No harm to the Buddha. So because of this, trying to understand the karma and karma result, if so, we'll be able to reduce. So another one is need to do reflections about the anger. Disadvantages of the anger, benefit of being impatient. If so, may be able to dispel anger or ill will. So next one is associating a girlfriend speech properly. Sometimes we speak to each other about the political case or something, other things, anger usually come out. So if you want to remove anger, you speak properly. What kind of things you should start? Have you eaten? Good to eat or not? Maybe like that. So some people always start something about the problems. So if so, anger may come out. Next one is Tina Metta. Kamechanda Vyavada Tina Metta. Tina Metta is usually slow and torpor. The mind, no energy, like laziness or sleepy mind. How to dispel that? It is one thing is change the object. For example, by practicing Anapana, if you want to, you are sleepy, and so you change the object. Maybe Buddha Nusati, or maybe radiating metta, change the object. If you change the object, sleepiness may disappear. So another one is you should think what you have learned. Like some sutta, some dhamma, you may have learned. Think about that. So because of thinking, sleepiness may go away. If so, you focus again your meditation object. Another one is trying to recite what you have learned. So like a sutta or chanting, if so, can dispel sleepiness. Next one is rubbing body. So ears, face, or head. If you rub your body, you may be awakened. You may not be sleepy. Next one is washing face. Washing face. Next one is seeing directions, stars, moons, lights. If you see wider view, sleepiness may go away. So next one is having a perception, light. So have this light, you may open. If you don't want to open, just trying to think about the light. Moonlight, sunlight, electricity light. If so, can dispel sleepiness. Next one is trying to walk. Trying to pacing up and down in meditation. By sitting, if you are sleeping, maybe pacing up and down, sleepiness may go. So next one is changing posture. If you are sleepy in meditation, so you change this and that, move the body, maybe blood may circulate. If so, it is the way to dispel sleepiness. Next one is eating too much may cause sleepiness. That is one way. So another one is staying, practicing opening place. Like in a garden, you may practice, may not be sleepy, because other people may take a photo, maybe put it into the internet, you may shame. So it is the way to dispel. So if it cannot, the final medicine to despair is go and sleep. So that is the way to dispel sleepiness. Also associating girlfriend. Some people are not much sleeping, wake up early, very energetic. If we associate with those people, we also, I should get up. I should be like him. So that is the mind is important. So because of this associate energetic one, some bandits are practicing totally not sleep, totally not lying down. They can stay. They are able to stay. So another one is right speech. Right speech is like if we heard Bande Kasva is practicing like not lying down. So we have heard one example, possible not to sleep, something like this. So those are the way to dispel Tina Meta, sloth and toba. So now you're finished, but I think we should have time to meditate. Today just how to dispel sensual desire, ill will, and sloth and toba. So next week we may try to teach the others. So we will meditate.